Hey, this is Matt. Once again, what about 10 other videos, another paid request, this time from John, the Zero Cool, good guy on here. Thank you for that, and for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, video game stuff, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, the Zero Cool wanted me to do a comparison between Adam Sandler's filmography and Jim Carrey's filmography. So I guess the best way to do it would be their first sort of introduction into movies wasn't really in great terms. Jim Carrey had Earth Girls Are Easy, which I'm not big on that film like other people are, although I know that has a cult following. Once Bitten, I barely remember. This is awful. It's not really a film. It's more like an infomercial for a ski lodge called Copper Mountain. That's interesting to watch. It's awful, but it's interesting to watch. Just again, it's Jim Carrey. He want to say Jim Kelly. Jim Carrey and Alan Thicke from the TV show Growing Pains. They started together, and again, it's like them hanging on a ski lodge, but it's again more of an infomercial for this fucking lodge. But I still gotta give it to Jim because he did not make Going Overboard. And Adam Sandler made Going Overboard, which is one of the worst comedies I've ever seen in my life. Going Overboard is insufferably boring, stupid, hard to watch, nonsensical, unfunny. Perhaps Adam Sandler, one of his worst performances. He's playing a stand-up comic that's just fails. And even visually unappealing, just an awful fucking movie, Going Overboard. Awful. So, Jim wins for not doing Going Overboard. And then you have them in TV. Adam Sandler did Saturday Night Live. Jim did In Living Color. I'd give that to Jim. Because Adam Sandler, like, of that era, I was more, if I watched that stuff, I was more laughing at Chris Farley stuff or David Spade stuff. Not really Adam Sandler stuff. Like the Opera Man. But Jim, whether it be the Fire Marshal Bill, let me tell you something. I thought he was funnier on In Living Color than Adam was on Saturday Night Live. And then we get to the movies. Adam Sandler made some fun movies in the 90s. And both of them you'd call the heyday that they had. Because the 90s, Adam had Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, some would say The Water Boy. But I will give it to Jim because while I do enjoy Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and The Wedding Singer and such, I look at Jim, I'm like, I love Ace Ventura Pet Detective. I like Ace Ventura When Nature Calls as well. Dumb and Dumber is a classic. I really liked Liar Liar. The Truman Show showed he could do drama as well as comedy. I even liked The Cable Guy. So I would say in the 90s, I mean, he had a streak of, again, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, all in the same year. Then, okay, Batman Forever, which I don't hate the film, it's okay, but I don't love it. The Cable Guy I liked. Liar Liar was fun. The Truman Show was a really good one. And then I look at Adam Sandler, I'm like, I like a lot of his movies, but I'm not as... The Waterboy I don't hate, but I don't love it like other people do. I like Airheads. But I just felt like Jim's movies not only were stronger, there was a bit more variety. Where you had... Like Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber and Liar Liar did feel like three fairly different films. And then he did a superhero movie like The Mask, comic book movie, at a different time in Batman Forever. He did a more drama and comedy with The Truman Show, which Adam Sandler had not entered that realm yet. So you see Jim doing something a little bit more dramatic, something much more goofy like Ace Ventura, showing he could work with a buddy like Dumb and Dumber, showing he could do comic book stuff like The Mask, showing he could do the father figure stuff, Liar Liar. You could argue well Adam Sandler had The Wedding Singer, so it showed he could do a little bit of the love story connection. But yeah, I gotta give it the Jim. I just think his films were, as much as I laughed at Adam Sandler stuff, I thought Jim's stuff was a bit funnier, a bit more entertaining. And then when I go into 2000s, I look at some of Adam Sandler's films. Little Nicky, not big on. Eight Crazy Nights, I hate. Punch Drunk Love, I do like. Mr. D's, I don't mind. Anger Management was fun. Click, I find very overrated. Zohan, you don't mess with Zohan, I didn't mind. I now pronounce it Chuck and Larry, I was not a fan of. Reign Over Me was a pretty decent drama. Then I looked at Jim stuff. Bruce Almighty, The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Number 23, Yes Man, Fun with Dick and Jane, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I hate to say this, but the 2000s I gotta give to Adam Sandler. The more I looked at this. Because I do like Bruce Almighty. I think that's a fun one. That was in 2003. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a fantastic film. But that's really the only two I could think of that I gave a shit with Jim in the 2000s. I'm not a fan of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Never got into that like other people did. The number 23 is awful. Yes Man, it's, I don't hate it, but it's forgettable. Fun with Dick and Jane, that's another movie that I know I've seen and I completely forget about it. Completely forgotten about it. And while there's some Adam Sandler films I don't like, I did quite enjoy Anger Management. And his dramas, like Punch Drunk Love and Reign Over Me, I thought were two pretty good dramas. I would say Eternal Sunshine I like more than both of them, but Adam still had two of them. And Mr. Deeds I don't mind. I can have fun with that. I thought it was entertaining. Zohan, I had fun with that movie. Longest Yard I didn't hate. It's okay. So as much as like Bruce Almighty and Eternal Sunshine, I do think Bruce Almighty is a better version of Click. Like Click to me is a shitty ripoff of Bruce Almighty. But Bruce Almighty and Eternal Sunshine are better. But I just looked at the numbers. Again, I could watch. I'm not a fan of number two. Like Longest Yard, I would say is better than Yes Man or Fun with Dick and Jane. Zohan, I had more fun than Yes Man, Fun with Dick and Jane, Grinch Stole Christmas. Ran over, like, just number-wise, I would gotta go with Adam Sandler. So, and plus, hey, give Adam Sandler a win somewhere. But then we get from 2010 to now. Now, Jim has only made 9 movies. From 2010 to 2023, Jim Carrey's only been in 9 films. 5 he starred in. 2 of them were Sonic movies. And then a couple he did cameos for. Or small roles. So Jim is definitely much more selective. I think that helps. Just that way you don't get too tired of him. However you think about him personally, taking that out of the equation. Just as a movie star, you don't see him all the time. So again, it doesn't feel like you got tired because, oh, he's every week. Sadly, Adam Sandler did not follow that formula. Just from 2010 to now, he was in That's My Boy, Jack and Jill, Grown Ups 2, Pixels, Hubie Halloween, The Ridiculous Six, shitload of stuff. And there's been some from 2010 to now I liked. Uncut Gems. Very good one. I like the first Grown Ups. But the fact that Adam Sandler doesn't say no to stuff, and the fact that he's made so many of his worst films ever. Listen, when I look at Jim, the 9 movies, some of them I don't remember, but I mean, I'm trying to picture what they are. Like Dark Crimes, that's him trying to be more serious. What was the other fucking thing? He was in Kick-Ass 2, not big on. Although he was good in it. He was good in it. But then he complained about guns and violence. I'm like, dude, you took the fucking money. You took the job. You knew what it was. Shut up. That's what I'm going to say. Disregarding personal. He did a good job in Kick-Ass 2, just it was an awful movie. The fact that he was more selective, the fact that he didn't star in his worst films ever on a consistent basis like Adam Sandler. And that's why I gave it to Jim, because Adam Sandler, like, I like Uncut Gems, but Jack and Jill 2. I mean, Jack and Jill and Grown Ups 2. Jack and Jill, he's playing his sister. He's in drag. He's hitting on Al Pacino. Or I should say Al Pacino's hitting on him / her. Al Pacino's rubbing his face on sweat stains. Grown Ups 2. CGI deer pissing Adam Sandler's face. That's how the movie starts. Hubie Halloween, featuring scenes where Adam Sandler in his stupid voice, projectile vomiting for a minute when he's riding a bicycle, or finding was a Steve Buscemi or someone, think he's a werewolf, but he's just taking a dump in various places in his basement, and we see it. Pixels, Adam Sandler looking like a corpse, Tubert having sex with Josh Gad, and having Tubert babies. What the fuck? This is what I'm talking about as I'm describing this. Jim Carrey's done some awful films in the past 9 years. I mean, the past 9 movies. But you know what? Not consistently as Adam. Let's have those 9 films. A couple of them were cameos. Okay, he's not in it much. And he did the 2 Sonic the Hedgehog films, which I enjoy. They have their flaws, but Jim Carrey's a lot of fun. He's entertaining. He's Dr. Robotnik. I think they're fun, entertaining popcorn movies. How many times can I say the word entertaining? And those 2 Sonic films alone I put above most of the shit he did. That's My Boy, about he's a kid who knocked up a teacher and jokes about incest and coming on wedding dresses. Pixels, what a waste of a cool idea and such a shitty film. Adam Sandler has pissed me off a lot more than Jim Carrey has in the past 13 years. A lot. So I think Jim's stint in TV was much more funny than Adam's stint in TV. Adam has some good stuff in the 90s, but I gotta give it to Jim. I think they just seem more iconic. Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. 2000s, I gotta give a little bit to Adam, trying to find his feel with Punch Drunk Love, Reign Over Me. Safe comedies, but still kind of fun, like Mr. D's and Anger Management. While Jim, he was kind of losing it a bit with Yes Man and Fun with Dick and Jane and stuff. But then from 2010 now, I like Uncut Gems, but I like Sonic the Hedgehog films, and Jim Carrey did not make That's My Boy. He did not make Jack and Jill. He didn't make fucking The Ridiculous Six or Hubie Halloween. He didn't make that shit. So that gives Jim a win in my book. And Adam, sorry. Adam, you just kept going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny, and people wanted you to go away for a while. Got sick of you. Like how people feel about Dwayne Johnson, The Rock nowadays, and some other celebrities you could think of. We're tired of seeing your shitty movies. Go away. And again, Grown Ups 1 I don't mind. The do-over with him and Dave Spade, I didn't mind that film. Uncut Gems, but too many awful, shitty, terrible comedies that just diluted your filmography. He might not have had a lot of great films recently, but at least Jim was a bit more selective and didn't get sick and tired of him. So when he came back for Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm like, oh wait, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It was like to see him again. Movie wise, acting wise, comedic wise. So felt reinvigorated. So there you go. Sally did do Dumb and Dumber 2, which is fucking awful. So I'll put that. Dumb and Dumber 2, fucking awful. So that's one awful, awful film. But then, That's My Boy, Jack and Jill, Grown Ups 2, Hubie Halloween, Ridiculous 6. Like, I need another hand for it. So, Adam Sandler, I like some of your stuff, and people say you're a nice guy, but I gotta give it to Jim Carrey. He's the winner. Chicken dinner. See you guys later. Bye-bye.